as a 51-year-old man, and 51-year-old black man at that, I was trying to avoid even talking about this because, quite frankly, I don't like neither one of these clowns. I don't like Anton Daniels. He's entitled. He's a grown man. He's entitled to his opinion. But to me, he denies and pretty much sucks up to Republicans, to right-wing policies that really don't favor people that look like our shade. That really don't. But on the other hand, Corey Holcomb is the type of Negro I generally, and I've known a few like this in my real life. Corey Holcomb's the type of Negro I just try to avoid. I don't even go around them. If I even spidey sense, shall we say, them even nearby, I tend to go in the other direction most of the time. Or if I have to be somewhere where they're at, I try to have very little to say. Very, very little to say. As soon as I handle my business, I'm out. I don't try to mingle, don't try to talk to them, nothing. Because I don't want that kind of energy around me. But these two, yeah, I saw that first parts of that first confrontation. And let me tell you, I thought I was listening to two people from high school going back and forth. But these are two grown men. Let me give you context. Anton Daniels is 45. No, 43. He's just 2 years younger than my girlfriend is. The Nature Girl 30. And this guy, Corey Holcomb, he's 57. He ain't nothing but about 6 years older than me. But I thought these were two guys out of high school going at it. And now, the latest chapter of it, Corey Holcomb is bit back because I understand Anton said some more after the initial confrontation on the 5150 show. Then, from what I understand, he said some more. Then Corey just bit back. And to me, even when I was young, I felt bad about doing that. I didn't like it when I was young. I didn't like it when I was a teenager. Because that's how often people got me. They would go after like my mom or my cousin or something like that to try to bait me instead of keeping it with whatever beef he had with me and stuff or want to crack on me. I mean, fine. I mean, I got tired of that too. Fine. But then want to try to drag you into it by going even lower, by talking about your mama or talking about your cousin female. Usually was centered around a female or one of your friends or something like that. That was always the cheat code with me. Because even though in my heart I felt like going to war, I knew I would be messing myself up down the road if I'd have went down there. If not physically, definitely as far as status-wise. So unfortunately, I just took it. But unfortunately, when you travel that road, you travel alone. Now, I will tell anybody this. Now, if they put hands on you, you have every right to fight back at that point. You have every right. You don't have to take it. But if they just saying just words, sometimes, I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody. Everybody has to do what they got to do. Me, I just took it because I knew if I responded or descended to their level, it would end up hurting me more than them because that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. But for a long time, I took a lot of crap over that. And in a way, listening to some of this was flashing back. Now, what am I getting at with this? Corey Holcomb has decided to bring in the man's daughter, who's underage, by the way. The man's daughter and his wife into the conversation. Now, if they were grown, well, the wife obviously is, but if they were grown and they ran their mouth at Corey, then they're fair game. Then they're fair game. If they decide to clap at him, but they're not even in the conversation. They was never in the conversation. I say what you want about Anton Daniels, but one thing I will give him, he kept it about Corey. He kept it about him. Every insult he threw at him, he kept it about him. Corey decided to go low and keep it, and decided to bring his daughter, talking about, Kool Moe Dee's daughter, and then that one dude, whoever his co-host is, that male co-host, off to the side laughing like, like some corny Saturday morning cartoon villain off the Looney Tunes. Then you have that other chick who, quite frankly, just sucking up, because without 5150, nobody would know who she was. I can't even think of her name right now. He gonna talk about the daughter's looks and this and that. Please don't make any more kids and this and that. When the daughter was never a focal point. Plus, like I said, she's my minor. What almost 60-year-old man goes after a minor? And then gonna talk about, the wife, you need to be over here with me and this, that. Man, you can't be my top 5, but you could be one of my harem of bitches and stuff. And those were his, I'm paraphrasing, but those were his words, not mine. Those were his words. And I'm thinking to myself, am I listening to a 57-year-old, or am I listening to a punk teenager whose hormones are raging and he just want to get laid? And this is what I found out over the years, even from cats that I thought had it going on back in my young days. Most of those guys were not, and I'm probably going to have to bleep some of this, most of those guys were not getting like that. Most of them were not. They were making me feel better. Hey, Irvin, when you going to get you... Yeah. And it was like that for me, and it was even worse when I was in college. It was even worse. But come to realize or find out later, most of them were not getting some like that. Most of them were not. Or if they weren't getting the women they really wanted. They were getting that, I'll just call it the community booty. Yeah, the one, that one or two chicks that'll bang just about everybody on the football team. They were getting those type of chicks that were basically banging for attention. And then, on a funny side note, one time, one of them dudes, just for a laugh, tried to hook me up with one of them, and she was like, oh, Irvin, ew. And basically, this was the funniest thing. The dude she was messing with for the football team, like I said, half the team had her. But he was like, well, you don't want to always hollering, you want a nice guy and this and that. He said, yeah, but I was like, nah, that's why you mess with me. That's why I know you lying. Well, I can't say it was completely wrong, but that's a whole nother tangent. But I'm like, you gonna talk about the man's wife? Like that? I mean, that's just straight up ignorant ghetto crap. And I'm like, nah, that's what I avoid. That's what I've always been allergic to. And I've just learned how to be smarter about it as I've gotten older. If I even sense that type of energy, I just find my way out of there. Because I don't want that around me. Thankfully, the woman that I'm with don't like that around her either. Anything. And I'm like, that's just out of bounds. And that's the kind of thing that gets people killed. Tupac, Biggie, anybody? Just saying. Even though we found out more than what we found out, Thanks, 50 Cent, with the Diddy documentary. But still, that's the kind of thing that gets people hurt or even killed sometimes. Because, a man got an ego. Even a nice guy got an ego. And at some point, you push them too far. And that's another thing. We always want to push people too far, and we want to be entertained by it. But then when it go too far and we end up at somebody's funeral, we always want to be there crying, laughing. How about we not go there in the first place? That way we avoid the funerals. But going back to Corey Holcomb, I'm no fan of Anton Daniels. To me, he's definitely a bit of a sellout. And a lot of his talking points are ridiculous. But Corey, I'm like, I can't rock with him either. I can't rock with really neither one of them. But I definitely can't rock with him. And it's embarrassing because we're closer in age. And to me, he just came on. I'm not saying he's not a funny comedian. He could be. And early on, he was. He really was. But there's a reason guys like Martin Lawrence and Dave Chappelle are where they at. And Corey is where he is. Now, he can say he don't sell out and this and that, but let me tell you, most cats that I have found, and this is kind of why I got away from it, most cats that I've found talk that pro-black stuff. A lot of them, if they thought for 1 second, if they saw for 1 second they were going to get a nice check for selling out or for flipping, they can talk all the pro-black stuff they want. But if they thought they were going to get a nice check for flipping or selling out, they would do it in a heartbeat. Make no mistake, these guys ain't your friend. And the fact that Corey Holcomb, when no one talked about any of his girls, which he probably doesn't have any except for maybe the woman that half the neighborhood didn't have. When nobody talks about none of his girls, and nobody talks about his children, and yet he goes there. Okay, I just hope, and I really mean this, I just hope Daniels does not go there. I'm afraid, though, it's going to escalate. It's going to escalate, and honestly, cooler head need to prevail. I don't know who's on Corey's side and who's on Anton's, but somebody need to get in between them, or somebody need to get in their ear and their respective camps and be like, y'all need to sit down. For real. Two grown men, much less two grown black men, acting like this, especially Corey. Come on, man. Come on, for real. At the very minimum, this stuff is corny. It is corny as crap. Nah, not really entertained by it in the least and stuff. I don't know. As I got older, I guess that's why I tend to favor cats like a Dave Chappelle, where there's at least some intelligence behind the comedy. Like stuff like, for example, Eddie Griffin. Back in the day, I'd have been laughing my ass off at his jokes. Some of them, a few of them, not many, but a few of them still hold up to me. But the majority of his stuff, I listen to it now. See, even at 41, I was like, oh. I don't know. And I really cringe when I hear it at 51. Now a few of his jokes do hold up, but not many. But I'd say more hold up than Corey Holcomb's does. But yeah, that's really all I want to say. Yeah, this is childish. I hope somebody pumps the brakes on one side or the other before we see something possibly tragic go down. I'm out.